Warning, this podcast contains Mr. Mixuspitalik. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the SC9TV podcast for Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 12, Luthors. I'm your host, Dom. With me, we have Cleo, Nikki, and Rachel.
You don't understand. When Mixoplex came at the end, I, stood up out of my chair with my hands raised to the sky, thank the fucking Lord.
Now...
I am so excited.
I was like, who's this douchebag?
I was like, why are they rooting another kiss again?
Of course. Well, I called it. I knew that was going to happen.
Okay.
I was pissed. You should have heard about it. What are you screaming for?
I didn't mind that the kiss was spoiled, because this episode made me realize Kara is just becoming a female Ollie, and I'm getting mad at her.
Okay.
So, I kind of was like, I'm not crazy about them trying to kiss again.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't care, and then Mixoplex came in, and I was just like, fuck yeah!
Yeah.
Let's do it!
Oh, it's insane. Now, for those of us that don't know, Cleo, would you like to inform us a little bit about Mr. Mixuspitalik?
He's a crazy magic man that just... Fifth dimension, right? I forgot that. He's just like a crazy fucking magic man who just makes things happen and is a just total fucking menace.
The best thing I could compare him to from other TV shows and stuff that you watch is he's very reminiscent of the Trickster from Supernatural.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
He came in, he kind of reminded me of Drop Dead Fred.
Yeah.
I have to look him up because the actor was really.
He looks very familiar.
Yeah, so I have to look that up really quick.
You know what? I think he's from Lost Girl.
Never seen that.
I think he's the crazy British guy from Lost Girl.
Now, I don't know too much about Mr. Whatever, but his name is really fun to say.
Okay.
And there's so many different pronunciations of his name.
There is.
There's so many. This show has gone the route of Smallville in terms of the pronunciation, but added one extra vowel to it. So
how did he pronounce it?
In this episode, he pronounced it Mix Yes Spittle Lick.
Spittle Lick. Okay.
Spittle.
He's
Spittle.
commonly referred to as Mixoplex.
Okay.
That's like the villain name for him.
Mm-hmm.
He was Aladdin in Once Upon a Time Wonderland.
I knew it!
Sorry.
Wow. Okay. Awesome.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
He's super pale for being Aladdin.
Apparently, he went through some tanning.
I guess he got a spray tan for that role.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Sorry.
He was just so funny in the Superman cartoon in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And the way he broke down his name in that was Mix Ol Spit Lick.
Oh, no.
And then he licked Superman. So,
Yeah.
Mixel Spit Lick is how I've always said it.
There's at least 20 different ways that are all actually canon. The DC has gone through and have changed over the years. So I just went through, and I'm not even kidding you, I've listened to it maybe 50 times for this episode, and it is Mix Yes Spitalick. That is...
Yes, Spitalick. I'm just going to be calling him Mixoplex, because that's the shortened, villain name for him.
Yep. So.
It's not Aladdin, it's Cyrus, sorry.
Cyrus. Oh, okay.
Cyrus.
The genie. Okay, got it.
It is the genie, yes.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he looked familiar. I was just like, where do I... Oh my god. And then I was like, well, no, he can't be the genie. But yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes a lot more
I wonder
sense.
if that is the same... I'll have to look it up. I wonder if that is the same actor that plays that guy in Lost Girl.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, he's kind of an imp. He's like a trickster from Supernatural. If you guys followed that, that's what you can expect out of him from the Fifth Dimension. And in the original comics, anyway, he's usually sent home for a minimum of 90 days by tricking him into saying his own name backwards. However, since Crisis on Infinite Earth, they've kind of gone away from that, and now he kind of willingly agrees to leave after meeting certain conditions that he sets. So, I know one of the examples that I read was until Superman gets him to paint his face blue. So, it's just ridiculous, over-the-top things to get him to leave. So, knowing that, and knowing how the CW DC verse has been going, they're probably going to go with that route to get him, because getting him to say his name backwards, it just seems ridiculous to, like, more ridiculous than his getting him to set these crazy conditions, because wouldn't you catch on to what your name is backwards? Because it's such a crazy name that it's not like you could accidentally say it. So I just don't
I don't know.
see
What
that
if
ever
his
happening.
name? I don't know. What if his name backwards is actually more pronounceable than forward?
I don't know.
Hurry! Someone write it backwards.
Yeah, but I don't know, the Kara and Mon-El thing. I'm like, even though it's so predictable, like, you cannot tell me that their relationship has not been predictable at this point. It's like sickeningly predictable.
Yeah.
I'm still rooting for them. Like, I don't know what it is, but I'm still rooting for them. And usually at this point in a TV show, I'm just like, just fucking cut it out already. And this, I want it.
Cutie.
I would definitely be rooting for them if Supergirl would stop acting like Ollie.
Yeah.
I mean, just plain old stupid.
And, like, she knows better. Like,
she's still
like
very
I said,
naive in a way. Like,
yeah. Well, like I said, last episode, everything's changing, and I think in this arc, she needs to change, and she's starting to, because everything else around her is changing. People are changing. People are growing. People are getting other relationships. People aren't, needing her help as much, and she's going to have to adapt to it.
Yeah, but I mean, just like in general, it's not even her relationship. Like, look at everything that went on with Lena this episode, and. Yeah, it ended up Lena was innocent, right? This particular time, but all the evidence was pointing against her, and yes, it was falsified evidence, whatever. But at that point, there's only so much you could do to, like, I feel like, it was good that she didn't give up on her friend. I'm not saying that's what she should have done, but I'm saying even when the odds are stacked against her, she's still like, no. Like, it's okay. It's just the way she's acting in general is kind of a little irritating.
Yeah, and I'm almost upset that she was right, because that's reinforcing her, I stick to my guns no matter what, even if every single piece of evidence is pointing me the opposite way.
Exactly.
Well, Jimmy brought up that Clark was the same way with Lex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're going with the Smallville style Superman Lex best buds forever kind of, growing up, because that was never a thing in the comics, that Superman and Lex were, because I remember I was not a big Superman fan ever. I watched all of Smallville, all 10, not all of them were horrific, but all 10 semi-horrific seasons. And I remember the biggest argument when that show was out and it was doing this was Superman and Lex don't know each other. Like, this should not be a thing, But it seems like this is now kind of... I don't know if they've ever retconned any of that with Crisis on Infinite Earth, with new Superman stuff. Because I tend to steer clear of Superman when it comes to comic book characters.
I don't recall anything like that in the Crisis series, but as far as the New 52 goes, I do not know. I do not know New 52 stuff.
Right. So, if that is the case, regardless, it seems like they're almost going as if Smallville existed to a degree. Obviously it's an alternate Earth, because Supergirl was in Smallville, but not this Supergirl. So, Green Arrow, all that was in it, and Ollie obviously doesn't know anything about Superman, so... It's a little bit different, but it seems like they're going along the route of Smallville to a degree.
I think they're just taking inspiration from it.
Right, exactly.
They liked how that was in Smallville, and it could work here, and it does work here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it works because lets them do that correlation that they did in this about her being friends with Lena and Clark being friends with Luthor. So it kind of
it's a really
it
good
just
parallel.
fit. It just fit.
But I think Cleo nailed it right on the head when she's just like, yeah, it just justifies Kara to stick to her guns no matter what. And I would like a contrast episode where she sticks to her guns and she's dead wrong. Like, I want to see that this season. Like, I don't want to wait. I don't want to wait another 2 seasons for it to get to that point. I want it this season. You know.
Yeah.
So.
And I don't want it to end up being that Lena is bad.
It seems like that's Lena kind of the route they're going, right? Because we see the flashback.
Really a Luthor.
Right.
Is it nature versus nurture kind of thing? Because she's not.
Don't finish your thought because I have like a maybe argument there.
Well, because like we see in the flashback, right? We get the whole thing and we see, Lex is playing chess this whole time through the thing. And then we get that very end kind of scene with Lena playing chess and actually beating Lex. Mm-hmm. Right? And to me, that seems like Lena's got the long game under control. So it seems like she could be possibly conning both her mother and Kara, and even Supergirl, possibly knowing Kara is Supergirl this entire time.
Could be, but I think the whole chess thing, and I might have mentioned this recently, I feel like I was talking about Checkmate recently, but I think she's gonna found the organization Checkmate with Maxwell Lord with the intention of it doing good in the world. Mm-hmm. But Checkmate is not a good organization. Also, right. Maxwell Lord is not a good person.
Where has he been lately? Has he even been on this season?
No, we've not heard mention of him. Nothing, which makes me think that this chess, her holding the chess piece, it feels like they're going down a Checkmate road where her and Maxwell are going to set up Checkmate, and it's going to go horribly wrong. Like, she's going to mean for it to do good, but it's going to go horribly wrong.
I like that. I mean, I don't know much about Checkmate, so would you like to inform us a little as to what Checkmate is?
It's they're like a government organization similar to S.H.I.E.L.D., in which they keep the world safe from, powerful threats. Okay. And it ends up getting turned towards the Justice League. Or they step between Earth and the Justice League, And it ends up getting a little corrupted because there's the way the structure works is it's I think it's no, they both sides have a king and a queen, but it's the black pieces and the white pieces, like on a chessboard. Mm-hmm. So I think Maxwell's the black king, and I think there's a female character whose name I can't remember. It's not Lena. But who I could see Lena being the white queen. And they're the heads of Checkmate.
That seems really cool. I like that that concept. I hope that's where they're going with it.
Me too. And especially since Cadmus in this universe is not a government agency, bringing Checkmate in and making it a government agency would be kind of cool.
And then it might actually get Cadmus to be bought out by the government. And
yeah.
Yeah.
And in a roundabout way, she could come back to her mother.
Yeah.
Long con. Yeah, maybe.
Long con. I don't know. That's really the route it seems like they're pushing Lena. And to be honest, as much as I don't want to see it, I do. Because, let's face it, Lillian is an awful villain.
Yeah. Well, awful?
Yeah,
like a bit?
It's just like, I don't like
I like her.
I don't, like, I'm not blaming the actress, but I feel like she falls flat in everything she tries to do, right? Like, Corbin, Metallo, I feel like outshined everybody this episode, like, in terms of the villains, right? Like, he just rose up to he is an amazing villain, and with everything that was going on with the artificial kryptonite and all that, and then it exploding, and I hope this isn't the last we've seen of him, because I feel like he's the strongest villain the show has at the moment.
Yeah, because Hank is still, like, a little lame to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think Hank can do better.
And, like, Lillian she falls a little flat for me. Like, I don't know if I don't think it's the actress. I really don't. I haven't seen her in other things, so I can't really tell, but all the delivery of that character, all her lines, everything, they just feel so forced. Like, they don't feel natural. And Lena, if she's really been playing everybody this whole time, and it turns out that she's the villain, the fact that she's so unpredictable is what would make her a great villain. So, yeah.
I think
as cliche as that is, to make her a Luthor and a villain and all this, when they've been pushing her to not be, I'd be upset at that. But at the same time, she'd be so fantastic as a villain that I couldn't stay upset for long. You know, I think that's what I've come to.
Yeah, I honestly don't see it as she's bad now. You know, I believe that she's good now, but I think we could run into like an Anakin Skywalker situation where she's like,
or she falls in love,
falls or is forced in the dark side, and then Kara, who is Obi-Wan, is like, but why? When did this happen?
Yeah.
Or she's forced to the dark side because she thinks it's a good way to get rid of something that needs to be but then get stuck.
Yeah. I mean, I think a lot of what I feel is wrong with Supergirl right now is actually Kara. I think I'm in agreeing with you here, Cleo, and it's just like the way that she treating her friends and stuff. Like, she focused this whole episode on Lena, right? This whole thing, and then you have Jimmy, whatever, sitting here going, "But I'm your friend, and you've done nothing." You believe in me? But not, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, that's exactly
it. Different. No, it's not Kara.
No, it's not Kara. Damn it. Damn it, Ollie. I mean Kara.
I kind of I can understand where Kara's trying to go with it, because Jimmy's not a superhero in terms of he doesn't have superpowers and this stuff, and she wants him to be safe. I understand that, but he's also proven himself. He's
also an adult.
There's a difference. Yes, I get that he's adult, but that doesn't make it right for him to run in and get himself killed either. But my point being is, he's already proved himself that that's not what he's doing, right?
Yeah.
So Kara should realize that at this point. I know she's like, oh, you're human, you're mortal, you can die. Yeah, I get that. I totally get that. That's why she was training Mon-El instead of James, right? Because Mon-El also has super strength and abilities and stuff like that. But that's not all it takes to be a hero, and I think that's what Kara needs to come to grips with and realize.
And I'm waiting for Alex to step in and be like, girl, I'm not super, and I kick fucking ass. Could you just let him? And what's the worst is, if Kara would just train with James, James would get better.
Oh yeah, hands down. Hands down.
Well,
Kara is driving me crazy.
Yeah. Well, I still think she's in it right now. It is driving me a little nuts, but I think she's in the transition. She needs to realize that they're in control of their own life. She doesn't have to protect them, and hopefully it's like a growth thing. She has to.
At the same time, though, I feel like
she needs to do it a little faster.
I feel like James' most powerful scenes are when he's out of the suit, right? I feel like that's where he shines best. Like, the talk and everything that he had with Kara, I feel was a really powerful scene. I don't feel like Guardian is really adding too much to everything at the moment. It doesn't mean it can't go somewhere. I just don't feel like it's necessary right now with everything going on.
The character Guardian annoys me for some reason. I don't know why. It annoys me. And every time I see him, I'm like,
It's like he's going out there to prove something just for the sake of proving it, and not for the sake of actually doing anything. Like, yeah, I get he is doing stuff. He's cleaning up. Like, I'm not saying he's doing absolutely nothing, because that's definitely not what he's doing. But it seems like he's doing it just to prove that he can, and not that he Has to. You know what I mean?
He's almost doing it for the wrong reasons.
That's kind of what I feel like. But this episode. I don't mean this episode when he was fighting Metallo. I just kind of mean everything before this point. Mm-hmm. But the scene with him fighting Metallo was pretty badass. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess you got to start somewhere. Rounding up the low-life thugs and stuff got him to the point where he's at now, where he can fight Metallo. If Metallo was his first battle out there, I don't think he would have done well.
No, he would have been in pieces.
Yeah, no, he has gotten a lot better.
I think it's just more of the conflict between Kara and Guardian that is just making me not like Guardian at the same time, because I'm also not liking Kara, but it's also carrying over into Guardian. I just see it.
They need to get in a ring together and just fight it out.
And I'm hoping that the talk that Jimmy had with her this episode, I hope that really kind of resonates with her and makes things okay again.
But here's the thing: at the end of the episode, we kind of got something like Hank and
Megan.
Not Hank. Freaking John and Magan had, where it was like, we're cool, but he still didn't apologize for locking her up. So Kara was like, let's not protect each other, and James was like, okay, but she didn't apologize for being an ass. It's like,
yeah.
Come on, guys. Yeah. Work on your apologies.
Apparently on Earth 40, what is this?
38.
Earth 38. Apparently on Earth 38, they don't know what apologies are.
I'm upset.
That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
They might not just apologies. They assume, it's like an apology without saying I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They just assume that the other people know by you kind of giving in to them saying, okay, fine, we're just going to leave it at this. This is how it's going to be. Nothing
Work on your feelings, assholes.
It's called having too much pride.
And like we have said in every other superhero, they need a therapist.
Mm.
That would be a great show, a superhero therapist. Every week is a different superhero.
Yeah, Cleo and I mentioned that. I think it was on the Arrow, wasn't it?
Oh, it's on Arrow, yeah.
I was like, they need a show that is just a therapist for superheroes.
Not even superheroes. Do superheroes and villains. The therapist is the neutral.
And then there's just an episode where a hero and their arch nemesis have the same therapist, and it's like, it's a conflict of interest. I can't see both of you.
It'd be great.
I would watch that. I would so watch that show.
That'd be the best. Somebody write a script for that. Get it going.
Do it.
Get it going. But yeah, also, just kind of minor, in the flashbacks, this was the first appearance of both Lex and Lionel in the show. I don't know if we're ever going to see them on the show in present day, anything like that. But
the way that it gets done, it's like Lionel died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
all I kept seeing when he came in, all I saw was Daddy Warbucks from Annie.
But
that is exactly what I thought too.
A lot of characters have quote unquote died on this show, and we find out that they aren't actually dead. So you can't really judge anything by that. It's just
maybe Lena's mom isn't dead, and he faked his death so he can go be with her.
Who knows? And I'm assuming Lex is still jailed right now, right?
Yes.
So,
I mean, Lillian was talking like he's gone too, and it's
he's
only
dead.
in jail.
Yeah, she's talking like he's dead, and I was like, okay.
Yeah, because Lillian was just like, oh, well, we're the last two Luthors.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. But she's just like, we're the last two Luthors, but he's there in jail, he's not dead. Break him out.
If she can break herself out of jail, if she can break Lena out of jail, if she can break Metallo out of jail, she can break Lex out of.
There's a reason why she's not.
There is.
I think she wants all his fucking gadgets.
Because that's what she manipulated Lena for. She went at some of Lex's secret caches that have all these gadgets and weapons and things.
Well, that's why she told her about her lineage.
Yeah. And that was really cool. Like Brian even says in chat, I like seeing Lena's past, and that was fantastic. That was probably the highlight of this episode for me.
I hope you see more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love to see more of what happened.
Yeah. And it's like we mentioned, Cyborg Superman, we didn't really get too much out of him, and I just don't like him. I haven't liked him once since he appeared.
I thought we killed him.
I want so badly to like him too, though, which is the terrible part.
Yeah.
It's like, you could be so cool. Why are you lame?
The only purpose he served this episode was to doctor the tapes of framing Lena for stealing the kryptonite. Like, that was it.
And he forced her hand onto the thing.
Yeah,
she was stronger than her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just the hired muscle.
Lena could have done that Lillian could have done that by slapping Lena around a little bit and then throwing her hand onto the machine. So or
Metallo could have done that.
Yeah, exactly. So he really served no purpose in this episode. Just the tape doctoring, which I'm sure they could have found another way to do that. But
yeah. Metallo could have done that. No,
no, he couldn't have. But yeah,
I know.
Yeah, I don't know. And that's why I'm really hoping that Corbin isn't dead, because we need more Metallo. We need him.
Corbin!
I'm hoping that the explosion actually infused the kryptonite into him, so he doesn't need it as a power source anymore. And it's
it's not just in his chest; it's in all of him.
Yeah.
I don't know. He kind of annoys me. I don't know. It's like I've seen this kind of villain before.
He's a very cliche villain, but he's the best villain that they have on this show right now.
Honestly, him talking like that, all I could think of was the Watchdogs from S.H.I.E.L.D. But
yeah,
he's
like the supervisor. Yeah, that's what he reminds me of.
Yeah, and I was just like, I hate everything coming out of your mouth, but I want you to keep talking because your accent's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep talking. Just read the phone book next time.
I think I'm not really a fan of Metallo, but for me, every time he bares his chest, I imagine him going, instead, and it makes it so much better.
It's like a Care Bear stare.
Exactly.
It is. It's a Care Bear stare.
I like how they've also recently been
it's like Iron Man.
Doing Kara when Kara takes her clothes off and there's the Supergirl shirt underneath and she just holds her chest up to the camera for a little bit.
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Like, why would you? I understand that you have to be ready at a moment's notice, but I just think that would be kind of uncomfortable to wear underneath. It may be hot, especially like on a summer day or something. It's like 90, you're wearing that and your clothes over top of it.
She's a Kryptonian. It probably isn't that much different than...
She probably doesn't sweat. Kryptonians don't sweat. So.
Have you seen water stains in her, underarms?
No, because they're all inside the suit.
Suit is simultaneously keeping the sweat in and cooling her off.
Yep. Yeah, when she takes the suit off, it's just liquid just pours out of it.
Oh,
ew.
Well, it sounds like she's gonna get a new suit soon. So.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he's working on the anti-kryptonite suit for her.
Yep.
I don't think it's gonna look much different, to be honest.
I don't know.
I feel like it's gonna be an addition to the suit. Like,
well, he says it's in pieces.
Yeah, but the last time we saw it, it was just kind of like some.
Right, it was
the way I best describe it is, you guys remember the Megazord from Power Rangers, right? And then do you remember when the Dragon Sword was added to it and it just kind of like fit over the top of the Megazord? That's just kind of...
That's how it was, but it sounds like he's making like a whole new suit because he said the suit's in pieces. Mm-hmm. So sounds like he's making a whole suit. So
it sounds like it's power armor you put on over the suit.
Basically,
yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, because it would be in pieces if it's some kind of like armor plating that goes over it or something. But yeah. But I think the best scene this episode was actually very close to the open, where Alex introduces Maggie to the group.
Yes,
that's funny.
I think that was probably the best scene. It's just like Mon-El just being like, "Wait, so that's a problem on this Earth?" Like,
I like how
very new. He's like,
on Daxam, the more the merrier.
I'm psychic. How could I not know?
Yeah, I loved that line.
Duh.
Yeah, but how did he not know about Wynn this whole time then?
He probably did.
Mm.
I think, you mean about Wynn working with the Guardian?
Yeah.
He probably did.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, but also he has a closer relationship to Alex.
Yeah, that's true.
So, probably reading her is easier than reading
I don't know. Wynn just seems like it would be running through his head all day long, that he wouldn't be able to shut up in his own head about it, that John wouldn't be able to
I bet he
pick
knew
that
and he was just playing around.
Yeah.
But
honestly, I think that was the best scene this whole episode. So.
Yeah.
Maggie's gonna die, and it's because of Kara and Alex.
I hope not.
Supergirl, and I see it happening.
I really, really hope not, because that'll drive a really big wedge between Kara and Alex if that's the case.
Yeah. I mean, you see it happen in a lot of shows where, the second hand to a female, like the main character, gets into a new relationship and they lose it right off the bat. They can't be happy. They never can be happy. It's kind of something that a lot of shows do.
Kind of like they can't have two of the same ethnic backgrounds on the show before they kill one off.
That's more movies, but yeah.
Yeah.
No, she'll do it.
Well, that's one show.
I know there's been other shows.
To be fair, S.H.I.E.L.D. is also directed by a movie maker, so... Yeah,
I was gonna say it's more of a movie trope, and it's usually more of a horror movie trope.
Mm-hmm. No, so. I don't watch horror movies, so I've seen it when they're more in shows. But.
You don't watch horror movies, but you're wearing Freddy Krueger's sweater.
Because it's comfortable. And
I was gonna.
Because it's comfy.
I was gonna.
I love it. Love it. Yeah, so, I don't know, I'm really, 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 and I cannot say the word really, excited for Mr. Mxyzptlk. Like, way, way, way more excited than I should be. I was mentioning to Nikki that if Chris Wood was not already on this show, that I feel like this would be his best role for the show. Just seeing the kind of hijinks that he's played previously on, like, the Vampire Diaries. That character that he played was basically the trickster from Supernatural, which is basically this character here. So I'm a little upset that Chris Wood didn't get to play this character, because I would love to see it, because I've already seen him in this role. But at the same time, by not playing this character means we get more Chris Wood on this show. So I'm really not that upset. So, but yeah,
calm your man crush.
No. Anyway, next episode is called Mr. and Mrs. Mxyzptlk. When Mr. Mxyzptlk, a magical imp, shows up on Earth and declares his love for Kara, she tries to let him down easy, thinking him harmless. However, he decides it's a challenge and starts to wreak havoc on National City. Mon-El has seen beings like Mr. Mxyzptlk on Daxam and knows how dangerous they can be. He and Kara argue over how to get rid of Mr. Mxyzptlk. I just love saying that name, so I'm going to say it all the way out every time. Further straining their relationship. Meanwhile, Alex and Maggie celebrate their first Valentine's Day together. Which is actually kind of cool, because we typically don't get a lot of Valentine's Day specials for shows anymore. So
Kara. He just fucking magicked around your room in circles, and you think he's harmless.
He just came out of fucking nowhere, and you think he's harmless.
He wrecked your kids with a hot guy, and you think he's harmless.
Whatever. God fucking damn it, Kara.
But, like, it also, the fact that Mon-El's seen beings like him before and knows how dangerous they could be, and he and Kara argue over how to get rid of him, like, instantly gets me mad, because it's like, okay, you have a guy who's seen people just like him and knows what to do in these situations, and you're having an argument over it? Why not just try his advice first, and if it doesn't work, then figure something out?
I think what the argument's going to be over is that Mon-El is like, we're just going to kill him, and Kara's going to be like, oh, hell no, we're not just going to kill him.
Oh, yeah. If it's going to be that, then then I can see Kara being upset. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's where the argument's going to lie, because Mon-El, and he's like, well, we'll just get rid of them, and Kara's like, no, we have to be nice and do this and put him behind bars or something, It's like,
I
no.
Mon-El wanting him to kill him. Maybe trap him or something.
I don't know. I can see Mon-El wanting to kill him. That's Kara.
Yeah.
He loves
Kara. It depends. If he's really getting on his nerves, then maybe yes.
Yeah.
I feel like because of his customs back on Daxam that, the first thing that they would do to a creature like this magical imp would be to kill him before anything else.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Yep. So I think that about does it. Cleo, where can the people find you?
They can find me at Cleomoto on Twitter, Twitch, and Pinterest. And please, if I got stuff wrong about Checkmate, let me know. I would like to get my facts straight.
Nikki, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at LadyVenom24, LadyVenom24.
Rachel, you just recently changed your Twitter over. We do not have Lower Third for you yet, but would you like to inform the people of where they can find you? You're muted.
You're muted.
What the hell happened there? Anyways, if you do follow me at Saya17, you're still following me. I just changed the name. It's now Viking Witch 76. I had to change it for reasons.
You know, shriveled up grapes, that's why.
You can find me down below at Phenomenon, PHENOMEDOM.
Phenomenon.
And you can find us all and more on Facebook, Gmail, G+, Twitter, MySpace. And one time Cleo's gonna do that line for me, and I'm gonna just lose it. And right here on YouTube at /ASOTV Podcast.
I've done that for you before.
I don't
MySpace?
Yeah, put coughing.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, I have.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
And right here on YouTube at /ASOTV Podcast for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, games, and movies. Until next time, Mr. Mix-You-Spitalik. Say that 3 times fast.
No, that's okay. I'm not gonna bother. Nope.
I don't like when people spittle and then look. That's really gross.
That 3 times fast. Crickets.